Welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Great League. This is for the Fantasy Cup. The Fantasy Cup, we're going to be running the Tapu Fini paired with the Ferrothorn and the Escavalier. First, we're going to stay in and we're going to throw the Surf at this Lucario. This Lucario potentially can know Power Up Punch or Shadow Ball. They do go for the Power Up Punch bait, and we know that since this is powered up right here, this potentially could be the Shadow Ball. We do double shield just to win the lead. We force them to switch out into the Azumarill. This Azumarill here is locked in, and our Ferrothorn is going to be able to dominate this matchup here. We're going to be able to tank whatever move. This ends up being the Hydro Pump, so we know that they're running the Hydro Pump and probably Flare Up. So we're going to farm up to as much energy as possible before they get to another move. And we're going to store some energy on our Ferrothorn. We go for this Thunder here. This Thunder does get the last shield. We're going to immediately switch out into the Tapu Fini. We know that we have energy advantage, and our opponent here is going to have to tank another Surf here. This Escavalier is going to survive it, but we do significant damage to where we force them to use some energy. They end up using energy on a drill run, and we know that we have a Escavalier on our own, and we're going to be able to farm him down. So GG's to our opponent right there. The Mirror Escavalier in the bag, unfortunately, we had a healthier one, and we were able to win that game. Next game, let's see what we find. We have the Lowland Sandslash here. Much better matchup with our... We got the Tapu Fini on this Sandslash here. Much better than the Ferrothorns here, so we're going to stay in. We can see here that they're going to be throwing a drill run right here. We do survive it. We've already invested one shield, so we're going to make sure we throw this Surf right before they get to their next move. And they actually end up deciding to shield just to win the lead. And we're going to allow it to go through. Ends up being the Ice Punch. Even though Ice Punch is resisted, it is enough to take us out. We're going to give a 1 counter advantage with our Escavalier, and they come in with their Steelix. So they are signaling that they do not want to see the Escavalier. In fact, they decide to double down and shield. We know that this could potentially be Earthquake. We do shield the Earthquake, and now this means that we can farm down relatively easily. We do get the farm down. Our opponent ends up revealing that they have double steel in the bag. Reggie Steel in the bag does not want to see the Escavalier, so that is a GG's right there. And Escavalier coming in and breaking up that core. Next game, let's see what we find. We're going to have the Tapu Fini versus the Azumarill. This is going to be a switch out opportunity. We're going to switch out into the Escavalier. Our opponent does stay in. We know that we can potentially throw this move before they get to their first move. We're only really worried about a potential Hydro Pump right here, so we're going to shield here. Ends up being the Ice Beam. Our opponent here is going to stay in once again, and we're going to get another drill run off before they get to another move. Once again, they're farming up like they have the Hydro Pump, and we're going to allow them to get it through. That ends up being the Hydro Pump. We're going to switch out, and then they're going to switch out into their Shadow Steelers. So we're going to switch back into our Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini is going to be able to get the Surf off. We do get the shield. And now we have to think about, will this be a potential Earthquake, or will they go for the bait? We decide to go for the bait, and it ends up being true. Breaking Swipe, not effective. They go for double breaking swipes right there, and they're basically just tickling this Tapu Fini. We're going to be able to win this matchup right here. And then now we're going to do our best to get to our Surf right here. The Surf does get to take this Weezing into the yellow, and we're forcing out some energy from this Weezing. Weezing goes for the Play Rub right here, and we do have this Ferrothorn in the back. Now the question is this Weezing throwing the power up for the Play Rub and Overheat? Let's find out right here. This is going to be a bait, or is it going to be a Overheat? We decide to shield, ends up being the Overheat right there, and our opponent does switch out and allows us to farm. Okay, we're going to have to tank a Ice Beam right here. We already know their moveset. And we do not get the CAP type. The Weezing wins CAP tie versus the Ferrothorn, and they are able to win that matchup right there to close out the game. We both had a move. Unfortunately, the Weezing had a better attack stat, and that is GG's right there. So, well played by my opponent right there. Next game, let's see what we find. Azumarill in the front. We're going to switch out. Ends up being the Skarmory. Skarmory running the Steel Wing fast move. We're going to be okay. And we're doing some significant fast move damage, so much so that it's already in the yellow. Plus this drill run right here takes it into the red. We have to decide if we want to shield here. We're going to decide to shield this sky attack. And then we're going to go for the farm down. We do get the farm down. One show farm down as best as it's going to get. Right there, we tried to throw the move on ideal timing, but they were able to get to their ice beam in time. And then we're going to switch out when they switch. So they're going to counter swap into their Lucario. Lucario is going to be able to get to a move. We anticipate it's going to be the Shadow Ball. We're going to go for the Surf to get this last shield. And our opponent here is racing to the next Shadow Ball here. We're going to throw this move right before they get to it. Let's see if they end up double shielding. They do go for the double shield. And at this point right here, we're forcing them to use a Shadow Ball energy because Pyro Punch would not KO. And then we have to go for the farm down. We do get the farm down, and that allows us to get some energy to throw at this Azumarill. This is all by GG's because we were able to get to that farm down right there. So unreal with that Ferrothorn right there, farming down the Lucario when they were probably right at a move, fainting on a move, most likely. All right, next game. Who will we match up next? We got the Tapu Fini versus the Escavalier here. This is going to be a shiny Escavalier. We are mesmerized by this, but back to the game. We are going to have to go for a move. Okay, they go for a move first. We're going to decide to let it go. Ends up being their draw run. And we know that we can throw this Surf right here. Does get a shield from our opponent. And then here, we're going to decide to shield because we want to at least throw in another shield. Possibly a farm down. We do go for the farm down instead. And our opponent here ends up revealing that they have the Weezing again. This Weezing was a problem in the past. We're going to go for the Surf to do some good chip damage. To try to get to another Surf. We actually faint on a Surf. That is huge. Unfortunately for us, we do not get that extra Surf. And then our opponent is going to be able to get to a move here. Ends up being the Overheat. Boom goes our Ferrothorn. We're going to be going back with our Escavalier. Also weak to another Overheat, and they go for the double Overheat, and that is GG's right there. So check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoy the video.